Good morning. It's Thursday morning here in McAllen, Texas. It's my leadership talk for today. So get up this morning, 4:45. I read my scriptures like I do every day, and I meditate on them like I do every day. And one of my associates in Indiana sends me a text. Good morning. I'm like, all right, you ready to get started? So we did yoga this morning, right? So I've been trying to get cultivate this culture of this Zoom culture, and I'm modeling this girl. She joined the company, and this Asian girl, very attractive, young, I think 22 years old. 10x her business since March. She joined the company in January. She got her license in March, and like July sometime I'm here. I'm seeing her. I get an email, and she's talking about, how excited she is and how she's, created this Zoom culture. And one day somebody does a calisthenic workout, one day somebody does yoga, one day somebody does Zumba or jazzercise or whatever, right? And they created this Zoom culture, and that's how she 10x her business. So I've been trying to do that, right? So every morning I get up at 4:45 and have my ritual, and I got one guy who tunes in like every other time. And today we did yoga, and there's I just pull up. I'm not a yoga person. I'm not very flexible. That's why I need yoga, right? And I find this yoga for beginners, 23 minutes, right? Pretty easy stretches, but enough for me to get a benefit. And we're doing it. Usually when I work out with him, there's a lot of dialogue back and forth. And, a half-hour workout takes an hour because we're cutting up and clowning, right? But didn't hear too much. Little breathing, I could hear him, But we did it, and then he's like, we should recruit her. So I go onto her YouTube page and find her contact information, and she's part of WFG. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Isn't that something, right? I sent her an email, let her know, thank you for doing her yoga for beginners, right? I have somebody on my team that's a yoga instructor, and she hasn't really engaged, but might get her to do this. I'm at 48 in the counter for the month, and before Monday I'm gonna have 60. Now I gotta get 2 recruits out of that. I think I can do that. All right. And so I started, there's some listening. See, whenever anything I've ever done in training, whether it was in the boxing gym with Roy Jones Sr., especially in the boxing gym with Roy Jones Sr., he would teach us a technique, and then we'd have to do it, and he'd be right over us, correcting us every little bit, and to the point where we were doing it the way he wanted us to do it, and then he'd let us do it. All right, we had to keep doing it, and he'd only look in at us once in a while, right, and give us the correction every once in a while, but we had to do it a lot. Okay, so there's a couple things that I'm picking up on. So I started modeling Bernadette Kim when it came to the 7-step and going through the Saving Your Future book. And she goes verbatim, straight down, you know, in the introduction, talking about, you know, what's going on in the US and Canada, and how, you know, people aren't saving their money, they're not paying their bills on time, you know, they're not you know, they're not contributing to their 401k, their RSP, you know, up in Canada. They're just not doing it, right? And they're spending all their money, or more than all their money. They're going into debt. Okay. And then getting into, you know, then going to the financial foundation, and then from there the rule of 72, and from there how taxes affect your money, right? And then from there, you know, to the X curve, right? Well, so then there was this lady with a degree in a master's in physiology, is it physiology? I know. Sociology, master's in sociology and philosophy, right? Very just effervescent and vivacious, right? And she's talking about just the little things, a couple little things that she does. One is, when she's handing out the campaign flyer, she makes them read at the very top on the back side that says, does your money control you, or do you control your money? It says it. She didn't have to say it, right? And then when she does her 7-step, she goes to the financial foundation and the X curve. And so I did that. I did a 7-step with that approach. Showed the campaign video, showed the Facebook community, and I went through the Saving Your Future book in that way, with that same emphasis. Then focused on the campaign and recruiting with the green flip chart, all right, in 26 minutes with some back and forth dialogue, all right? So, see, we have to watch out for too much doom and gloom. Now, this young guy that did the presentation in the product highlights, there wasn't a lot of product highlight going on. He basically did a 7-step last night using that same model, right? Young guy, you know, and there's certain, there's kind of a medium. You don't want to sound like you're some, you know, happy-go-lucky teenager, you know, kid in high school, right out of high school, right, that, you know, doesn't know a lot. You don't want to sound that way, but you don't want to be too doom and gloom, right? Eeyore, right? So this is a happy medium, right? And but the facts are that everybody has a plan to eventually retire. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care if and there's a ton of them. I'm surrounded by success coaches, right? That have their own programs, and You know, they're all trying to be Tony Robbins. And, you know, show you, I mean, and they got their system. And if you follow their system, you'll make money in the stock market, or you'll, you know, be more productive with your business, right? And, okay, but that's all emphasis on production. Once you've produced, now you got to make that money produce. And when you're at the point when your money's making more money than you do working, that's when it's time to retire. And everybody knows that. Okay? But if you never let your money get a chance to work, you know, you're never going to stop working. So you better love what you're doing. I know so many hair people in the hair business, right? Hey, you can make money pretty much wherever you want. There's a bunch of people like this look good, and if you don't get your hair done, you're not looking good, right? And so you can make money pretty much wherever you're at, and it's cash, you know, and you know, it's right now money. And you can just be in the barbershop or in the salon, and somebody's gonna walk in the door, right? And they keep coming back. There's if you can become like a master wig maker, and the insurance companies not only pay for prosthetic wigs for people who've gone through chemo, had cancer, right? But they'll refer you clients, right? And it's like, you know, $480 every 3 weeks, like clockwork. Because them ladies are in there, they're gonna get their hair done, especially if somebody else is paying for it, right? And the thing is, they're so focused on producing, they stop focusing on saving. Or if they do save, they're not saving it in the right place or the right way, right? And they get tired of standing behind a chair, right? That doesn't take very long. They get tired of the same people, you know, unloading their drama, right? And they just have to listen to that and listen to that. Garbage in, garbage out, you know. That's what they say. Right? You can change that whole pattern by injecting some positive and about what's going on with you and your money and your business. So this is for the hairstylists out there and the barbers. All right. Have a great day.